Hello students, welcome to science class. Lesson number 10, Respiration in Organism, part 3. So in previous parts we had learned about respiration. So respiration, two types of respiration are there, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration, when breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. It means breakdown of glucose with the use of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and energy will release. And anaerobic respiration, when breakdown of glucose or food occurs without the using oxygen, this is called anaerobic respiration. So when glucose break down without the use of oxygen, alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy will release. Sometimes our muscle cells also respire anaerobically, but for some time, but for short time we can say. So then aerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cells to fulfill the demand of extra energy. That time glucose break down in the muscles in the absence of oxygen, lactic acid plus energy will release. Again that lactic acid will break down into in carbon dioxide and water. After that breathing, again about breathing also I told you, breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of respiratory organs. So again that inhalation and exhalation. So breathing is a continuous process I told you, and number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as a breathing rate. It is very important. What is breathing rate? The number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. And on the average, an adult human being at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. During heavy exercise, the breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. Remember it, it's very important. On an average, adult human being at rest breathes in and out 15 to 18 times in a minute. During heavy exercise, the breathing rate can increase up to 25 times per minute. While we exercise, not only do we breathe fast, but we also take deep breaths. Why? Because they inhale more oxygen. Okay, so start new topic, part 3, respiratory system. First of all, before learning human respiratory system, let's see that why we breathe, how do we breathe. We know that the mechanism of breathing. So you know that normally we take in air through our nostrils. So when we inhale, it means when we inhale oxygen rich air, it passes through our nostrils into nasal cavity. Now from nasal cavity it passes to the windpipe, or we can say trachea, and into lungs and reaches our lungs. Now lungs are present in the chest cavity. Now this cavity means hollow place. So this cavity is surrounded by ribs on the side. Now one large muscular sheet also there, and this is called diaphragm. So diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. So now when we breathe, that breathing involves the movement of the diaphragm and the rib cage. So during inhalation, what we do that? During inhalation, ribs moves up. When air enters in our body, ribs move up and outward, and diaphragm moves down. Why? Because that air fills in the lungs. So this movement increases the space in our chest cavity. and air rushes into the lungs. It means that when air rushes into our lungs, it expands. So the lungs get filled with air. And what happens during inhalation? Ribs move down and inward. So while diaphragm moves up to its original position, initial position, we can say formal position. So what will happen? When air moves out, this reduces the size of the chest cavity. So this movement in our body can be felt easily. You can also do that. Take a deep breath. Then keep your palm on the abdomen, feel the movement of the abdomen. So now respiratory system in human beings. So the organ for respiration in human being are, I am saying first, we'll start from nasal cavity. Nasal cavity, then pharynx, after that trachea or windpipe, then lungs. Again in lungs some parts are there, broncholy and alveoli. After that diaphragm. So what is respiratory system? The system that exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. Respiratory system, it means that system that exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. You take 20 breaths per minute, and the lungs are very big organs but weigh relatively very little. See, how do we breathe? Again I am saying that how do we breathe? See, breathing is a mechanism, you know that key point on mechanism breathing. First of all, breathing is a physical process, and breathing involves inhalation and exhalation. It means breathing is the physical process of inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. When we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So breathing is the physical process of inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. Again, the mechanism of breathing involves two main processes, very important. The mechanism of breathing involves two main processes, inspiration and expiration. It means inhalation and exhalation. So inspiration occurs when the diaphragm and the external intercostal muscles contract, and expiration occurs when the diaphragm and the intercostal muscles relax. So during inhalation, ribs moves up and outward and diaphragm moves down. So this movement increases the space in our chest cavity and air rushes into the lungs, and the lungs get filled with air during exhalation and ribs move down and inward. So while diaphragm moves up to its original position, and this reduces the size of the chest cavity. So here inhalation and exhalation, two things are diaphragm contracts, moves down, and diaphragm relaxes, moves up. Here look closely to the picture. In first picture, diaphragm contract, moves down. See, rib cage expand. When rib cage expand as rib muscles contract. When you inhale air, your rib cage expand as rib muscles contract and diaphragm moves down. While diaphragm relaxes, or we can say it moves up. So when you exhale, rib cage gets smaller as rib muscles relax, and diaphragm also relax and move up. So by making simple model also, you can take a wide plastic bottle, remove the bottom, get Y-shaped glass or plastic tube, make a hole in the lid so that the tube may pass through it. To the fork end of the tube, fix two deflated balloons. Introduce the tube into the bottle. Now cap the bottle, seal it to make it airtight. To the open base of the bottle, tie a thin rubber or plastic sheet using a large rubber band. So, to understand the expansion of the lungs, pull the rubber sheet from the base downwards and watch the balloons. So, this way you can make a model of some mechanism of breathing. It means model of lungs. So, open your textbook. You are in your textbook, page number 114, second column. One activity is there, activity 10.6. In this activity, model of mechanism of breathing. It means model of lungs are given. This way, you also can make model of lungs. Again, take a slender, clean test tube or a glass plastic bottle. Make a hole in it and fix it on the bottle. Pour some freshly prepared lime water in the test tube. Insert a plastic straw through the hole in the lid in such a way that it dips in lime water. Now blow gently through the straw a few times. Is there any change in the appearance of lime water? Yes, because in chapter 6 you had learned when carbon dioxide passed through the lime water, what will happen to lime water? Lime water turn milky. So, you are aware that air we inhale or exhale, that air we inhale, it is oxygen rich air, and air we exhale, this is carbon dioxide rich air. So, what do we exhale? Carbon dioxide. So, you must have observed that if you exhale on a mirror or film of moisture appears on its surface, that means you can say when air which you exhale, it contains not only carbon dioxide but water vapor also. So this way you also can make a model of lung on page number 140 is given. So student, go through the video twice for better understanding. In next part, I will explain rest of the chapter breathing in other animal. Here in this part we have seen about breathing in a human being, human respiratory system and all. Now in next part we'll learn about breathing in other animals like cockroach and all. So till then, go through the video twice for better understanding. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.